Mercedes' iconic SL has made a comeback in AMG form. And talking to me about this new model, this iconic car, and what potential it has in the Indian market, I'm joined by Lance Bennet, the Vice President of Marketing and Sales. Lance, thanks so much for talking to us. Uh, SL's come back after quite a gap and it's come back in AMG form. So just your thoughts on, bringing it back to India and as an AMG. Obviously, the market has evolved. Who's going to be buying this car?
Sure. I mean, this is a very important product for us. I mean, it's the SL nameplate's been around for almost 7 decades now. It's in its 7th generation, and we believe it's perfect for the Indian market. We see we're focusing on the top-end vehicles, and we see a lot of growth and opportunity in the top-end vehicles as well. So I think as you've seen, our product launches this year, the E53, the A45, the G400D and the GT63 are all in the top end, and this is the latest iteration as well, the SL55.
Right. So, and the kind of buyer, is it a slightly maybe older buyer? SL's been around, as you said, for 7 generations, quite an iconic car. You had real poster boys like the 113, 107, which really have been in movies. We've seen even the R129 in Dil Chahta Hai. So clearly a very, very iconic car. So, but again, appealing to a slightly older generation.
I mean, I see it as a car that's going to appeal to someone that wants something very bespoke and unique. We have so many different combinations, whether it's the roof colors, the exterior colors, the interior, the seatbelt colors, even the caliper colors as well. So you can customize this vehicle to make something very unique and bespoke. So something that wants something very special, that's why they'll purchase an SL.
Right. And roadsters in India, typically our climate, it doesn't lend itself to roadsters, but convertibles still have an appeal. Do you think, the fact that convertibles are so much more practical now, much more easier to live with, touch of a button, they become practically hardtops, it's kind of enhancing the appeal in India, even though the climate doesn't suit them?
Definitely. I mean, the roof can be opened and closed in 15 seconds. So if the weather changes, then you've got the opportunity to close it quickly. Plus, we've got, great sound insulation and also insulation from the elements. So it's definitely appropriate for the marketplace, and it offers that freedom, open top driving. There's nothing better than having the roof down on a beautiful day.
Yeah, absolutely. Open top driving is something, everyone looks forward to. Though I think in India, the weather still is a bit of a challenge, but just coming back onto the spec of the car, SL55, not the full fat 63. I mean, what was the rationale on that? Is it because the price would be a little too expensive and this was the sweet spot vis-a-vis performance and price?
Yeah, we see this as the sweet spot, as you said, especially considering our supply constraints as well. As you might be aware, the G63, the same motor, there's a 2-year waiting list, so we didn't want to have to launch the car and then have a 2-year waiting list on it. So that's why we went with the SL55.
So what you're saying is the constraints on the engine.
Yes.
That's the V8 engine, yes. Which is right. Okay, yes. Yes. That's interesting. So, so what you're saying is with the 63, the waiting list could have gone as much as 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, we'll still see a waiting list on this particular car. At the moment, we've sold 30, and it's probably to mid next year before you can get one. But yes, with the 63, it would have been a much longer waiting list.
Right. And, just again, coming to the overall top end of the market, really growing in India. I think from what I understand, you've already got maybe about 30 orders.
Yes.
Yeah, so 30 orders already.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, wow, that's quite something. But how do you see this end sustaining? Do you see it growing a lot, or is it still, we are coming out of COVID, there's a bit of revenge buying and, people just want to gratify themselves? Or do you think this sort of demand at this top end is not only sustainable, is set for growth?
We believe that it's there's growth there, and we're trying to grow that as well. So that's why we're introducing more models to grow that top end vehicle. Over the last 5 months, we've actually sold 1,700 top end vehicles. So those are cars worth more than 1.5 crore. So certainly there's been no stop. We still got a good order bank, still good inquiry on these top end vehicles.
Right. Well, wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.